Okay, so we're gonna be playing the big Demon Hunter list, and I'm pretty excited for this. I'm really excited to play this. So what should we keep? Okay, nothing here apparently. Okay, let's see. Let's keep that. Okay, sure. Okay, so speaking about the Mulligan's Guide stuff, I had someone comment on my last video about whether or not to like buy premium and stuff like that for HS Replay. So I don't know if I like explained it very well for that, but so basically for the Mulligan Guide, right? So when I clicked on the Mulligan Guide and I pulled it up, right? The things that it like offers you, right? It says like this is a card you should keep, this and that, right? It takes it general from this class, so like it's not going to be specific for Frost Aggro. So now that we know it's Frost Aggro, we could be like, okay, this was a better hand than the other hand that we had, right? But it takes the class as a whole and will then say, okay, how does this card typically, what's the win percentage, played percentage, drawn percentage against that class as a whole? And so that's just something to kind of like understand. So like if you don't use HS Replay, it's a very, you know, solid card or a solid app to use, because it's also a deck tracker too, so you can keep track of your cards as well as your opponent's cards. And I definitely think it's worth, you know, downloading and using, because I mean, always having a deck tracker, be able to see what you have in your deck, look at your opponents, know what they've played, what they discovered, stuff like that is really, really useful. And then on top of that, when it comes to like looking at what's meta, if you do pay for premium, you get to see, like, okay, here's what I'm saying. So if you don't buy premium, you get from bronze 10 all the way up to like platinum 5. And so so those are the only ranks that you could see without premium, and so that's generally where most, like the average Hearthstone player sits between bronze 10 to plat 5. That's like typically the average range. If you pay for premium, you get to see diamond 10 to legend. Now of course, when you get to when you buy premium, you can also specifically click on which rank you're at. So if you're at like diamond 2, you click on it, see what decks are being played in diamond 2, like from like the last, you know, 5 hours, whatever it is. These are the most consistent decks that are being consistently played in Diamond 2. And you can pick at it, look at it, be like, okay, I want to play this deck because they're playing that deck, right? And just go that whole route. I should have traded into that first before I played this. Just so you know. But, okay, that's fine too. But, and so then if you're then like, you know, trying to grind up it, so if you're like a hard grinder and you want to try and get to like top 100 legend, right? That's your best route, is to like, if you do want to pay for premium, you can specifically see all decks in each rank, how they're using, and then as you rank up, if you go from diamond 2 to diamond 1, look at all the decks that are in diamond 1 and potentially, you know, pick a deck, play it until you get to legend rank, you know. And then when you get to legend rank, the whole meta completely changes, because all the decks that you typically see from, you know, diamond or from bronze 10 to diamond 1 are completely different. Okay, here, give me a second here. This is fine. These are still gonna go off.
A watery grave awaits.
I like that. Okay, so I didn't have to play Lady Safino there because you could trade right there, but that's just, you know, risking that for him there, because we have this and this, and so we're not too worried about HP right now. We can restore HP, but so the meta, oh, Regidar kind of stinks there. Does he still trade? Oh yeah, that's Solar. Okay. If we get, oh, I don't even know what we could get. That is not great.
Gifts of the arcane surge within me.
Oh wait, no, we win. Huh. Forgot about that. Well played. Yeah, what I was saying about that, the whole meta changes in legend rank, and so most of like the really aggressive decks kind of even out a bit. So like, you know, Pure Paladin right now has like a 69% win rate or whatever it is. When you get to legend rank, that drops about like 8%, and other decks will kind of even out because, you know, the skill cap is a little bit higher, so there's going to be better players in legend rank because they got the legend rank clearly, and you could expect to see them, you know, playing more combo oriented decks, more control decks, and those really aggressive decks that anyone can play. You could play Frost Aggro, Death Knight, and grind all the way up to Legend Rank, and that could be the only deck you play. But there's always gonna be someone that has, you know, 5 more years of experience playing than you do, and they know something that you don't, and that deck is gonna counter that deck. You know, it's just gonna be that whole type of thing with it. Ooh, okay, against Warrior. I wonder if this control Warrior. But back to what I was saying more on that. Here, so we'll do this. Here, look at this. So Mulligan Guide, right? So it's pretty safe to say that you want to keep these in the opening hand against more likely or not a control Warrior. But, you know, this is a Menagerie Warrior. This is probably not the best card to keep in hand. Predatation you could argue to keep, but Brutal Analon is not worth keeping, right? And so you could, like, keep this, or you keep that, depending on what you think you're going to be playing against. If this control Warrior, it's probably okay to pick this. But it's just that whole thing where you got to kind of infer what to keep and what you're more comfortable playing at. If this is a deck that you're not used to playing, it's probably better to keep the stuff that you're more comfortable with. And so it's that kind of whole thing, right? Ooh, this is really nice with this. Already got 2 spells. But yeah, so anyone could get the legend rank. Like this past season, only 19,000, like roughly 19,000 people got to legend rank, and in the American region, right? And so if like a good portion of people play Hearthstone and consistently play it, that's like top what 2% of overall players that play. So legend rank is really hard to hit, is like to grind up to, but it's definitely possible, especially if you play like Death Knight, because it's the most recent class that got released. So there's not many cards to the class. There's not, you have to buy, like, drop $100 on the last 3 expansions to try and, you know, get other cards that you're missing. Kind of like Wayward. Getting that cheaper is really cool. See, how does this work? Cast it's while you're holding this, summon a different demon from your deck. Okay. So we could be patient with this. We could cast these 2 on turn 4 and play this on 5. But yeah, the meta is going to shift a little bit when you hit legend rank. But then, you know, if you play like college esports like I do, like I play for a competitive Hearthstone team for my college, and I've gone to nationals a couple times now for Hearthstone, and the meta is also very different in a tournament setting as well. And so that's something else to kind of, you know, understand as well. Most of the time when it comes to like tournaments and stuff like that, the games are a little bit slower. There's most time, if you're, you know, qualifying for a regional match or even nationals, most of the time the per game cap is like 40 minutes. So you could play a really heavy control deck and just not care at all. That's really good to see. Yeah, we'll spam that too. But but you'll typically see like really crazy like combo oriented decks, stuff along the lines of that. You'll see like the Naga OTK Priest. Like those are the decks that you're going to see that are not good on meta or like on the ladder, but you could expect to see, you know, other versions of anything else like that. We'll just pressure them down. But, you know, if you're trying to, you know, get better at the game, but specifically for Hearthstone 2, you just kind of have to play just all decks, kind of get a feel for everything. It's really hard to just play one class, even though it's very possible to play one class and get to legend rank. It's better to have a profound knowledge of everything, play every class so you can know every type of matchup, know certain, you know, instances and everything along the lines of that, different, you know, interactions, right? And so that's really the best thing you can do to get better at the game. And it doesn't inherently matter if you do hit legend rank, because, you know, legend rank, you know, is just you hit it and then you're like, you're happy with it, right?
The Queen's trove is forbidden. Who's hiding now?
Do this right there. But God, I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, just playing multiple decks and just playing multiple ones. Of course, if you're new to the game or you don't have a big collection, you just continuously play over time. I think the best thing, like the best thing you could do when it comes to spending money on this game, is to buy the welcome bundle and buy the tavern pass that they have. That's $20, because you get 2 free legendaries from that. You're also get packs, gold, and then this gold will help you buy mini expansions. Like if you ever do buy a tavern pass, it should immediately go into saving up for 2,000 gold for the next mini expansion, because if you get that mini expansion, then you're gonna be able to be ahead of the, well, not be ahead of the curve, but like you're gonna instantly get all the new cards from that for 2,000 gold, and that's extremely worth it. Ooh, don't like that, but here, we'll put this back in the deck. This might be the wrong thing to do, but oh yeah, I definitely played that wrong. I should have rushed in and attacked and went face, but it's fine. But ooh, he had the Remora. That's fine. We have this. Yeah, if I didn't have that misplay, we probably would have been a little bit better off. See, that's, yeah, 12, that's fine. Yeah, it happens, you know. I was too busy talking, so I kind of misplayed there. But it's I guess my point with it is just buy the tavern pass, save it for 2,000 gold, get the mini expansion. Saving the gold in those ways will help you expand the collection a whole lot faster. I know when I was younger and I started playing this game, it was really hard to like get legendaries because they didn't make it to where you could open up multiple legendaries, but now you could only open up one. And so now that that's in place, like that's been in place for like 3 or 4 years, 5 years now or something, however long it's been. It's definitely a lot easier to collect stuff like that, but it's easier just to, you know, play the cards that you have, don't disenchant stuff, and craft stuff that may or may not work for that meta. Everything's going to be changing. Buffs and nerfs are going to be more consistent than they were way back then. And it's just, you know, you want to make sure that you just save the cards that you have. Okay, Druid. But yeah, it's always better, you know, just to play the game and don't push to be like, you know, oh, I'm not hitting to this rank because, you know, I'm not doing that well. Like, just the whole thing where like, just don't put your pressure on yourself. Still enjoy the game. Like, I know I play it competitively, but I enjoy it so much that I'm trying to make YouTube videos on it, right? And just show people my perspective of the game. But still look at it as a game and just enjoy it for what it is, and don't, you know, look at it in a way where you're forcing yourself to try and play as much as you possibly can to try and get to a rank that just isn't working for you that time, you know? There's always going to be time to do it in the future. Like, I've been playing the game for like 13 years, however long it's been. I started playing when I was like 11 or something, and I didn't hit legend rank until this last season, and I've been doing competitive esports for the last, like, basically the last 2 years. And I've been to nationals. I placed 6th place at nationals. I've gotten multiple scholarship offers to other colleges for going to nationals and being consistent in a tournament setting. And yet I still haven't hit legend rank. Well, I did this past season, but you know, it's the same. You don't have to be consistently hitting legend rank to be a good player. You're always going to make mistakes. There's always going to be, you know, RNG in the game. That's how any type of game is when it comes to stuff like this. Let's see, what does this do? 7 mana? Yeah, we can play this. This is fine. But oh, I forgot we got this in rain too. But it is still a game in the end of it. And if you don't see it that way, then just, it's not worth playing. If you get overly mad at Hearthstone, then probably not worth investing your time in and playing it. But if you're just happy with it, like I'm really happy right now. I'm playing Big Demon Hunter, and this thing has not been meta. Oh, so it's specifically demons, okay. And
our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
Sorry, I've been thinking a little hard here. Guess I don't need the preditation right now.
I will find a way.
Okay, sure.
Runic strike.
But yeah, just just enjoy the game for what it is. It can only get better, you know. They rolled out all the buffs and nerfs. They really buffed up warrior, so now there's a lot more warrior on the meta on the ladder right now. And you know, even though to the nerf to the Death Knight class, it's still top 3. All 3 of the decks are still tier 1 except for Unholy, but Unholy is still coming up. Like I was gonna talk about it in the meta video and stuff like that, but it has like a 55% win rate, but there wasn't a lot of games played. Like my biggest thing is when I like try and make a video for like a meta deck or like a meta video about like what you guys should be playing, like just in general, I typically don't look at the win rate. I look at the games played, because if a deck has like a 80% win rate but only has 100 games played, that's not a good deck. It's not worth playing at all. I'm gonna wait until turn 7 to play this, so we'll just play this. Or actually, we might play this actually, but we'll see what happens. But I look at the total games played. So if a deck has 56% win rate but 30,000 games played, that's how you know that's a good deck, right? So I typically like to look at those lists first before I go on to, I'm like, okay, well this deck only has 2,000 games played right now and it has this 6% win rate, so there's a potential that this deck and this specific list might rise up and become meta here. And so that's really the whole like way to kind of look at HS replay. Don't just click win rate and then go to the top deck, go to games played, and then click the top deck there and play that game, because you'll have way more consistent wins, and that's just like the best way you can properly use it. You could also look at the deck overviews and see what deck against every single class has the most consistent wins as a whole, not just a specific deck and a specific deck, but in that way. Oh, this is pretty crazy right here. That deals 8 damage to face. Oh, it deals that after this minion survives, damage deal that amount to the enemy hero. Okay. Thought it was like the leftover attack, but that's fine. You know, I feel like this card could be 8 mana for what that effect is. That doesn't feel too impressive. Oh, okay, so it's continuously like that. I see now. I guess that's kind of cool in theory. Oh, and he raked it. We're gonna be getting those though.
We all exist in harmony.
You know, play off Hell Break Loose and trade there. We will have this here too. There is Lady Zathino though. We're gonna wait until turn 9. We are gonna play this though, because we do get that back. Bam. Yeah, so like this list, when I made the video over it, had 54% win rate, but that's with over 8,000 games played. So that's how you know, like, okay, this is a deck that could potentially be meta, and it's worth playing. And like clearly, like I've won 1 game, lost 1 game with it, and I lost that 1 game because I kind of wasn't paying attention fully with it. But it's still a very consistent and strong deck. Well, because it has 8,000 games played, you could assume it's a, you know, a very consistent deck. Yeah, if he drops down like a new Barak into Undertaker and then Zoc, we could play Unleash the All Fail Breaks Loose and summon up 2 of these, as well as another Inquisitor. Oh, Mishmasher into turning at Maw. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's fine. We got this ready. Now we can actually play this into that, and that'll deal some damage, right? I am not playing this correctly either. Like I'm playing it a little bit different. So we can, okay, well here's the thing. So we want to rush here, right? Actually, we'll do this. Yeah. Here. Trade there. That deals out there. Oh wait, this deals damage to face. Yeah, we win. Well played. Yeah. I didn't make that mistake because I know in the comments people have been like, that would have been lethal. Also, back to the HS Replay stuff. So if you go to the meta area on HS Replay, you could look at the rank ranges, right? And so the top 1000 legend, you could look at that. Legend, you could look at diamond 4 through 1, diamond through legend, and then platinum as well. That was wrong. It wasn't from bronze to platinum, but it was from bronze to gold is what you get. You see here when it highlights get premium, those are the ones that you get when you pay for premium. But if you do go here, you can go to gold. And you can see here, like, this is what tier 1 does for gold, tier 2 for silver, or tier 1 for silver, tier 1 for bronze, and then bronze through gold. The average amongst those. You could also pick the different game modes. You could pick or the data's from rank standard, and then you could also get like specific, like if you're in the Asia region and you want to get the Americas, you know, region, you can pay for premium to see that. And it's that whole thing. And you can do, you know, last 7 days. So this was top 1, or the top tier 1, and then specifically for when the Festival of Legends came out, and then specifically with the patch too. You can, you know, do by class, the matchup, and then also if you subscribe for the premium, you could see the popularity. So that's all worth doing. And then if if you're also into battlegrounds or mercenaries, getting premium will help with those as well. And if you're playing any of these other games right here as well, you can buy premium, and there would be some type of advantage that'd help you win.